I know this is something that you guys have done a lot of in the past, and honestly, all of this should be review for all of you. So first thing here, adding and subtracting integers. So remember from the last video, an integer is a positive or negative whole number. Okay, so remember, if we have the same sign, so both numbers are positive or both numbers are negative, we are going to add the two numbers together and use the common sign. So for example, if we took 4 plus 3, obviously 4 plus 3 is 7, and since both of the numbers are positive, our answer is going to be 7. In the second example, we're adding two negative numbers. As you can see, negative and negative. So what we're going to do is we'll ignore the negative sign. So we'll add 4 plus 8, which gives us 12. And then we will just add the common negative sign out in front. Okay, we'll save the other two to work on together in class. So if our two numbers have different signs, that's when we are going to subtract the two numbers and keep the sign of the greater number. Oops. All right. So for example, if we have 8 plus negative 4, the greater number between 8 and 4 is obviously 8. So we are going to subtract the two numbers. So we have 8 minus 4, which is just 4. And since 8 is the greater of the two numbers, we are going to keep the positive sign. It's just positive 4. In the second example here, negative 16, 16 is greater than 7. So we're going to subtract the two numbers. So we have 16 minus 7, which gives us 9. And then we are just going to add the negative symbol out in front because 16 is the greater of the two numbers. Next, we have absolute value. So absolute value is essentially the distance from 0 on the number line. So if we take the absolute value of 7, 7 is just 7 places away from 0. So that just gives us positive 7. No change there. But if we look at the absolute value of negative 11, negative 11 is still 11 places away from 0 on the number line. So instead of the absolute value of negative 11 being negative, it's actually just going to be a positive 11. All right, that is all of our addition and absolute value. Next, we have subtracting integers. So subtracting is essentially just adding the opposite. So if I have 3 minus 5, that is the same as saying 3 plus negative 5. So if you're struggling with subtraction, you can just think of this as an addition problem. Because 3 minus 5 gives us negative 2. 3 plus negative 5 also would give us negative 2. So they are both the same. Some people like to think of this as the bubbles method. So pretty much you circle the number in front of the sign. So, we obviously have 3, no sign out in front of it. And then we would have negative 5 as our second bubble, taking the sign with it. So then we take our two bubbles and add them together. And that is how you come up with our second writing, 3 plus negative 5, which we just determined is negative 2. So that's just adding the opposite. It doesn't matter how you think about it. It's just important that you guys are keeping your positives and negatives straight. All right, on to the second page here. just a quick reminder that we need to follow addition rules. So what that means, if we are subtracting a negative, remember that turns into addition. So if you see those in double negative signs, you can make those into an addition problem. So for example, 5 minus negative 10, double negatives become a positive. So that just turns into 5 plus 10, which is 15. Where on the other side, we have 5 plus negative 10. Since we don't have a double negatives, we actually need to subtract these or add the opposite. So 5 plus negative 10, we have different signs there, so we will subtract. 10 minus 5 is 5. Negative 10 is the greater of the two numbers, so that will become negative 5. All right, we have a couple more examples below. I will leave those for you guys to try on your own, and we'll quickly go through these together in class. Thanks for watching.